We appear again. Hello, we're back.
We are back. Okay, so should we talk about tile maps?
Are you sure?
No, but I said I would, so I should. Tire screen 2. I will not be able to see chat. Mikey, you're in charge of the things. Wait,
Yay, I'm in charge. Hi, guys. Party time.
wait, why can't I? What's good? Am I sharing or not?
I don't know yet.
I thought I was. Share
Jan
tire screen 2. Oh, you're sharing as well.
Is that confusing?
Yes.
There we go. I've stopped sharing.
Okay, now I can't see the stuff I'm sharing. Can you?
I can, yep. We see Godot. It's an empty screen.
Okay, so on my screen it's just a grey thing, but that's fine. Let's just take a look at your face. All right. So first off, let's take a look at the image we're going to be using. I made this. So the idea is we're going to make an automatic tile set, a terrain, that's going to look a bit like blueprints. And this is kind of irritating. There's some steps we need to do that are not immediately obvious. But let's start right at the beginning. Make a new scene. And I'm going to call this level for reasons. And as a child of that, let's add in a tile map. For those of you who don't know, a tile map is a wonderful little resource. It has a bunch of possible tiles, and then you can either draw them manually or create patterns that you can paste in, or create rules where it'll try and find the best pattern, the best tile to fit, depending on what's around it. So we have a tile map. We want to add a tile set. So let's add a new tile set. And here's where everyone gets confused. Because what do I...
I'm going to hide you out of the way, actually, because I feel like we might get into a position
Yes,
where
no, I shouldn't be there.
your head is covering the screen. There we go. There's a couple of questions. One is, any idea what the additional asset pack will cost at this time? We don't have haven't nailed down a price yet, but it won't be overly expensive. We know that much. We want to make sure that our content is as accessible as possible to most people. The way that we have looked at the general pricing is we've looked at some of what you deem like professional packs out there, like the Cinti stuff, and worked out how many assets that they sell in their huge, great big packs, and also looking at other creators as well to try and position things.
I want to be very clear. He doesn't mean we're going to charge the same money as Cinti. He means, what do they charge per asset?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I would have the way that Cinti sells their stuff, absolutely amazing set of assets. I've got several of them myself, but they can be quite pricey. You know, they do their mega pack and it's like 140 quid or something along those lines, which is a lot of £pounds to spend on an asset pack. It won't be that expensive. We don't know how many assets
a dungeon pack out for Godot 3. But this one is going to is being rebuilt from scratch because the lighting doesn't work from those things in Godot 4.
Yes, there's a load of hoops to jump through to make sure that things are ready for the Godot 4. The other thing that we'll be doing is making sure that all of our assets are Godot compatible, so you will just be able to drag and drop into your Godot game engine straight away. There is a plan in the fullness of time to make sure, well, they are already going to be compatible with Unity and Unreal because you can export them yourself, but our intention is to make them in the fullness of time a U asset or what's Unity's thing called? Whatever, a Unity asset.
No idea. I should also point out that you will get a cut down version with the Godot course. So if you just want to do the course and you want some stuff to work with it, you don't have to like go and find some or pay us extra. But if you want the extra stuff and you can use it in your own games as well.
Well, it would be silly doing a course and not having the having the resources to follow along.
I'm sure it's been done. Okay, so here's the point where people fall first, right? I have my lovely image. Dragging it kind of works. Put it in. Now what do I do? Right? Because this doesn't draw. And I can go to like these things and nothing's happening.
So what's the image that we can see at the moment? This blue and white image, like a blueprint?
This is my source image. This is what we're going to be using. So we have patterns and terrains over here. And at the bottom, you see where it says tile map, we also have tile set. When I drag this over, it automatically moves me to tile map. So we need to set up the tile set and the tile map to be able to use this. grumpy face. Okay, so first thing we need to do is we need to tell it how big each tile is. So let's zoom in a bit using middle mouse button, and I'm just going to make that full screen. So right now it's actually sorted out the right size, so everything's good there. And I can select each one of these tiles, and it's got a bunch of things. We can click on this tile set and get some extra information, and specifically, I'm going to want, well, I need my tile size, 32 by 32. Yep. And I'm going to want, 1 second. Right. The terrain set. We need a brand new terrain set, which we will set to, I believe it's corners and sides. I'm going to add the new thing. I'm going to call this blueprint. Actually, I'm not going to call it blueprint because that sounds like I'm working in Unreal. It's going to confuse everybody. Let's call this blue. And I'm not going to pick blue as a color because I have blue in the image. So instead, let's pick a nice purple. Fine. Okay. So it now knows that these tiles have a terrain layer. We could also add a physics layer so we can build collision into this. I'll show you how to do that in a bit. Navigation, same deal. And we can do extra stuff, like we can add in our own information. And under rendering, we can even put occlusion layers so we can have these things block light. I have done a test with all of these done. It took a while. Be warned, the initial setup for this is painstaking. Once it's done, this is an amazing system. All right. So I've got my tile set. That's all set. Let's look at my terrains. This terrain set is going to be 0. And it's terrain 0. Okay. What does that mean? -1 means there is no terrain. Now you might be thinking 0 means there's no terrain. This is not a Boolean, right? This is not a true false. What's happening is we can say, I have terrain 0 and terrain 1 and terrain 2 and so on. So I could say terrain 0 is the grass, terrain 1 is the beach, terrain 2 is the ocean, terrain 3 is the forest, and we can make rules. This tile must have the ocean on its left and the forest to its right. It's not quite wave collapse, but it's the same kind of idea. All right, so here's the fun bit. We're going to go here. I'm going to set which terrain it is, which is, come back, 0. Nope. There we go, 0. And then we get these bits. And what we're going to do is tell it which one the walls are. So the wall is going to be the top right. And this is a little hard to see. So let's just do that. And that. There we go. Okay. Annoying bit coming. Everything that is our terrain is 0. So right side is 0. Right bottom is 0. Right bottom side is 0. This is too big. Let's put that back to 16.
So the purple and blue might be a bit hard for people to see on stream. Have we got?
Good.
Could we make it a bright green or something, or something red? Can everybody see the color difference there? I mean, it shows up quite well on stream for me. Is everybody okay with that? Concerned it might be a bit too close to just blend in.
All right, so while that's happening, I'll set up some other ones. So right is 1, bottom right. And after a while, you get to realize, okay, this is clockwise. But you still have to go through manually. You can't just click here, right?
Oh, so that's like a, is that a 3x3 grid, essentially, that you're coloring in manually?
Yes.
Got it.
Because I've set this up to be corners and edges.
Gotcha.
Because that's what I need for this. So right side, actually don't need all of these, do I? But hang on a minute, this grid is the wrong size. No, okay, one more time. It is actually 32 by 32, not 32 by 3, but it's not just that needs to be 32 by 32. This setup must also be 32 by 32. There we go. Okay, so both the region and the tile. You can see why this gets confusing.